Did you know that 95% of your financial decisions aren't actually yours? They come from mental programming you received before the age of 7. And worse, this programming is sabotaging your money right now. In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to reveal the 3 subconscious blocks that keep you financially stuck, the neuroscience behind why affirmations alone don't work, and the exact 90-day protocol to rewire your brain before 2026. Stay until the end because I'm going to show you a 30-second test that reveals your specific money block, plus a bonus technique that billionaires use to program their minds for wealth. If you work hard, do everything right, but money never seems to come or slips through your fingers, this video is going to change everything for you. And I'm not talking about some woo-woo manifestation nonsense. I'm talking about hard neuroscience, backed by research from Stanford, Harvard, and leading behavioral economists. The problem isn't lack of effort. It's not lack of opportunities. It's not even lack of skills or education. It's something much deeper, much more insidious. Your subconscious has been programmed to reject wealth. Keep watching because what I'm about to reveal will shock you. You see, most people think they want money. Consciously, they do. But there's a part of your brain, the part that controls 95% of your decisions, that's been programmed to keep you exactly where you are. Studies in neuroscience show that until age 7, your brain operates predominantly in theta waves, frequencies between 4 to 8 Hz. This is the same brainwave state as hypnosis. During this phase, you are essentially walking around in a hypnotic trance, absorbing everything from your environment without any critical filter. Every conversation about money at the dinner table. Every stressed comment from your parents about bills. Every religious sermon about the evils of wealth. Every cultural message about staying humble and not getting too big for your britches. All of it downloaded directly into your subconscious, bypassing your conscious mind entirely. And these beliefs became your absolute truth, your operating system for how the world works. But here's what's really fascinating, and you need to hear this. Your subconscious doesn't care about your dreams, your goals, or your vision board. It cares about one thing: keeping you safe by keeping you consistent with your identity. Now, let me break down the 3 most common subconscious blocks that are sabotaging your wealth. And I guarantee you have at least one of these, probably all 3 to some degree. This is the most obvious one, but also the most deeply rooted. How many times did you hear phrases like, "Money doesn't grow on trees, we can't afford that, rich people are greedy / selfish / corrupt, you have to work hard for money, money is the root of all evil, we have to be content with what we have saved for a rainy day," implying disaster is always coming. Now, here's what most people don't understand. These aren't just phrases. Each one created what neuroscientists call a neural pathway, essentially a superhighway in your brain that connects money with negative emotions. And here's the really insidious part, stay with me on this. Your brain was designed over millions of years of evolution to keep you alive. And the primary way it does this is through pattern recognition and threat avoidance. So when your subconscious associates money with danger, stress, or immorality, it treats financial opportunities the same way it would treat a snake or a fire. It activates your fight or flight response. This is why you might procrastinate on that business idea, avoid asking for a raise, self-sabotage when things start going well, spend money as soon as you get it, feel anxious when your bank account grows. Your brain is literally trying to save you from the perceived danger of having money. A study from UCLA found that people with strong scarcity programming showed increased cortisol levels, the stress hormone, when presented with scenarios of receiving large sums of money. Their bodies were having a stress response to wealth. This one is even more powerful than scarcity programming because it operates at the level of your core identity. Answer these questions honestly. Do you identify as someone who isn't good with money? Do you say things like, "I've never been lucky with money"? Do you introduce yourself by your struggles? "I come from a poor family." Do you feel like an imposter when you're in wealthy environments? This is crucial, so don't skip past this. Your subconscious is what psychologists call a self-concept, essentially a detailed file of who you believe you are. And here's the kicker, your subconscious will always move you toward consistency with your self-concept. It's called the self-consistency theory in psychology, and it's incredibly powerful. If your self-concept includes "I'm someone who struggles with money," then your brain will work 24/7 to prove that belief correct. Not because it's mean or sabotaging you, but because consistency feels safe to your nervous system. This happens through your reticular activating system, RAS, a bundle of nerves in your brainstem that filters reality. Your RAS shows you evidence of what you already believe and filters out everything else. So if you believe "I'm bad with money," your RAS will highlight every financial mistake you make, every bill you can't pay, every opportunity you miss. And it will completely ignore or downplay your wins, your capabilities, and your potential. I've seen people get raises and promotions, then unconsciously find ways to spend that extra money so they end up back at the same financial stress level. Why? Because being financially comfortable didn't match their identity. Now this is the one that surprises people. Most people think they're afraid of failure. But research shows that fear of success is actually far more common and far more paralyzing. You might want to pause and really think about this one. Deep down, many people are terrified of what success would mean. Identity death. If you become wealthy, you're no longer the struggling artist or the hard-working middle-class person. Part of your identity has to die. And humans resist identity death even more than physical death. Social rejection. What will your family think? Your friends who are still struggling. Will they judge you? Resent you? Stop relating to you? Will you lose your tribe? Studies in social psychology show that humans would rather stay poor with their peer group than become wealthy and risk social isolation. We're tribal creatures. Historically, being cast out of the tribe meant death. Responsibility amplification. More money means more decisions, more tax complexity, more people asking for help, more pressure to maintain it. Some part of you might think, it's easier to just stay where I am. Imposter syndrome. What if I get wealthy and then lose it all? Everyone will know I was a fraud. This fear keeps people playing small so they never have to risk the shame of falling from a higher place. Visibility and judgment. Wealth makes you visible. People notice you. Talk about you. Have opinions about you. For someone who's been taught to stay humble and not show off, this feels dangerous. A groundbreaking study from Harvard Business School found that 75% of people admitted they would turn down a promotion if it meant significantly changing their social circle or lifestyle. Think about that. 3/4 of people would choose comfort over advancement. Keep watching because now I'm going to show you exactly how to dismantle these blocks. Before I give you the solution, you need to understand why everything you've tried so far hasn't worked. The affirmation trap. I am wealthy. I am abundant. Money flows to me easily. Sound familiar? You've probably tried affirmations. Maybe you stood in front of the mirror every morning, repeating positive statements. And after a few weeks or months, you stopped because nothing changed. Here's why. You were trying to reprogram your subconscious using your conscious mind. That's like trying to change your computer's operating system by talking to the monitor. Your conscious mind, the part that thinks, analyzes, and says affirmations, represents only about 5% of your mental processing power. It's the tip of the iceberg above water. Your subconscious mind, the part that runs your automatic behaviors, stores your memories, and controls your beliefs, represents the other 95%. It's the massive iceberg below the surface. And here's the problem. Your subconscious doesn't speak logic. It speaks emotion, repetition, and experience. A study from the University of Waterloo found that positive affirmations actually made people with low self-esteem feel worse because their subconscious rejected the statements as false, creating cognitive dissonance. It's like trying to convince yourself you're 7 feet tall when you're 5 feet 8 inches. Your subconscious says, "That's obviously not true," and the contradiction actually reinforces the negative belief. The vision board illusion. Vision boards are popular. And they work for about 3% of people. Why? Because for most people, vision boards create what psychologists call premature visualization satisfaction. Your brain experiences a hit of dopamine from imagining the outcome, which actually reduces your motivation to do the work. A study from NYU found that people who vividly visualized their goals were less likely to achieve them than people who visualized the obstacles and challenges. Your subconscious thought, "We already have the thing," and reduced your drive. The knowledge myth. If I just learn more about investing, business, money management. Knowledge is important, but it's not the bottleneck. You can read every financial book ever written, but if your subconscious is programmed for scarcity, you'll find ways to not apply that knowledge. It's like giving someone a Ferrari but they still believe they're only worthy of a bicycle. They'll park the Ferrari in the garage and keep riding the bike. So if affirmations, vision boards, and knowledge don't work, what does? Stay with me because this next part is based on cutting-edge neuroscience. Here's the good news that changes everything: neuroplasticity. Your brain can be rewired at any age. The old belief that you can't teach an old dog new tricks has been completely demolished by modern neuroscience. Dr. Joe Dispenza, neuroscientist Norman Deutsch, and dozens of other researchers have proven that your brain is constantly rewiring itself based on your experiences and focus. This process is called neuroplasticity. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every behavior you repeat is literally reshaping the neural pathways in your brain. You are rewiring your brain right now as you watch this video. The question is, are you rewiring it intentionally or accidentally? Here's the protocol that actually works, and you're going to want to write this down. The 3-pillar reprogramming method. Pillar 1. Conscious awareness and pattern identification. You can't change what you can't see. The first step is making your unconscious patterns conscious. For the next week, I want you to become a detective of your own mind. Carry a small notebook or use your phone, and every time you have a thought or feeling about money, write it down. Pay attention to what thoughts come up when you check your bank account. How do you feel when a bill arrives? What's your immediate reaction when someone talks about their financial success? What do you tell yourself when you see something expensive you want? What emotions arise when you think about asking for more money? Don't judge these thoughts. Just observe and document them like a scientist studying an interesting specimen. After a week, you'll start to see patterns. You'll notice the same limiting beliefs showing up over and over. These are your specific subconscious programs. Common ones include: I'm not smart enough to be wealthy, rich people are lucky. I'm not, money corrupts people, I don't deserve more than I have, making money is hard. Once you've identified them, write down where each belief came from. Who said it? What experience created it? This is called source identification, and it's incredibly powerful because it helps your conscious mind realize that these beliefs aren't truths, they're just learned patterns. Pillar 2. Pattern interruption and emotional release. Now that you can see your patterns, you need to interrupt them. This is where most people fail. They try to replace a negative thought with a positive one without first disconnecting the emotional charge. Think of your limiting beliefs like files on a computer. You can't just overwrite them, you first need to delete the old file. Here's the technique. Every time a limiting belief pops up, immediately do this 3-step process. Step 1. Interrupt. Say stop out loud, or firmly in your mind if you're in public, or clap your hands, or snap a rubber band on your wrist. You need a physical or verbal interrupt to break the neural pattern. Step 2. Question. Ask yourself, is this absolutely true? Can I be 100% certain this is a fact? This engages your prefrontal cortex, the logical part of your brain, and creates separation from the emotion. Step 3. Release. Take a deep breath and imagine the belief as a cloud floating away, or a file being deleted, or a program being uninstalled. Visualize it leaving your system. This might sound simple, but this interrupt question release pattern literally weakens the neural pathway. Every time you interrupt a pattern, you make it slightly less automatic. Do it consistently for 30 days, and you'll notice those thoughts losing their power. Pillar 3. Subconscious reprogramming with emotion. Now comes the installation of your new programming. And this is where we use the actual language of the subconscious, emotion and embodied experience. Your subconscious learns through repetition, which is why your childhood programming is so strong, you heard it thousands of times. Emotional intensity, which is why trauma imprints so deeply. Embodied experience, which is why doing something is more powerful than thinking about it. Here's the daily protocol. Morning theta reprogramming, 10 to 15 minutes. In the first 10 minutes after you wake up, your brain is still in theta waves, the same programming state as childhood. Don't check your phone. Don't get out of bed yet. Instead, close your eyes and do this. Feel first visualization. Don't just picture yourself wealthy, feel what wealth feels like in your body. Where do you feel it? Your chest? Your stomach? What's the texture of that feeling? Warm? Expansive? Light? Sensory immersion. Engage all 5 senses. What do you see in your wealthy life? What sounds surround you? What do you smell? What textures do you touch? What do you taste? The more sensory detail, the more real it becomes to your subconscious. Emotional amplification. Actively generate the emotions of gratitude, peace, excitement, and freedom. Don't wait for them to happen, actively create them. Your face should show these emotions. Your body should feel them. Do this for 10 to 15 minutes every single morning. Research shows that the brain cannot tell the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. When you do this consistently, you're literally installing new neural pathways. Evening integration, 10 minutes before sleep. In the last 10 minutes before sleep, your brain enters theta waves again. This is your second programming window. Review your day and find evidence of abundance, no matter how small. Someone bought you coffee, you found a parking spot, you earned money, any amount. You received a compliment, you had a roof over your head. This trains your RAS to look for abundance instead of scarcity. Throughout the day, identity embodiment. This is the secret sauce that makes everything work faster. Ask yourself multiple times per day, how would I think/feel/act if I were already the wealthy version of myself? Then do that thing. Would wealthy you hesitate to invest in that course? Would wealthy you stress over that dinner bill? Would wealthy you slouch or stand tall? Would wealthy you speak timidly or confidently? Start being that person now. Not when you have the money, now. This is what psychologists call acting as if, and it's incredibly powerful because behavior shapes identity just as much as identity shapes behavior. You're going to discover something incredible in the next section. Keep watching. Now let me give you the exact timeline and specific actions for the next 90 days. Research shows it takes 66 days on average to form a new automatic habit, but for deep subconscious rewiring, I recommend 90 days to really cement the changes. Why before 2026? Because if you start today, by the end of March 2025, you'll have completed this protocol. You'll have new neural pathways installed. And you'll have the entire rest of 2025 and all of 2026 operating from your new programming. Imagine where you could be financially by December 2026 if you started this transformation right now. Phase 1, days 1 to 30, deconstruction phase. Focus, awareness and interruption. Daily actions. Morning, 15 minutes of awareness meditation. Simply observe your thoughts about money without judgment throughout day. Document every limiting belief that arises and practice the interrupt question release technique. Evening, journal for 10 minutes. Answer these questions. What limiting belief showed up most today? Where did this belief come from? What would be possible if this belief wasn't true? What's one tiny piece of evidence that contradicts this belief? Weekly action. Every Sunday, review your week's limiting beliefs and identify the top 3 that showed up most often. Research the opposite belief, find evidence, stories, and examples of people who prove your limiting belief wrong. Milestone. By day 30, you should be able to catch limiting beliefs within seconds of them arising, and you should have significantly reduced their emotional charge. Phase 2. Days 31 to 60, reconstruction phase. Focus, installation of new programming. Daily actions. Morning, 15 minutes of feel first visualization in theta state, right after waking. Create your specific affirmations, but not the fluffy kind. Use this formula, I am learning to. This bypasses subconscious resistance. I am becoming someone who. Focuses on identity. I am noticing. This primes your RAS to look for evidence. Examples. I am learning to receive money easily and joyfully. I am becoming someone who makes aligned financial decisions. I am noticing more opportunities for income every day and midday. Set an alarm for 12 p.m. every day. When it goes off, stop whatever you're doing and ask, am I embodying my wealthy identity right now? Adjust if needed. Evening, 10 minutes before sleep, abundance journaling. Write down at least 5 things that prove you're already abundant. Can be tiny things. Study 30 minutes of financial education, read books, watch videos, take courses on money management, investing, or wealth building. This isn't just for knowledge, it's signaling to your subconscious that you're serious about this identity shift. Weekly action. Take one identity-aligned action, something the wealthy version of you would do. Open an investment account, even if you start with $10. Negotiate a bill or subscription price. Research a business idea. Network with someone who has the financial life you want. Donate money, even $5, to practice being a giver, not just a receiver. Milestone. By day 60, your new thoughts and behaviors should start to feel more natural. You might catch yourself thinking differently about money without conscious effort. Phase 3. Days 61 to 90. Consolidation phase. Focus, integration and evidence building. Daily actions. Continue morning and evening protocols. They should feel automatic now. Add this powerful technique, future self journaling. Write in present tense from the perspective of your future self on December 31st, 2026. Describe your financial situation, how you feel, what you've accomplished, how you spend your days. Write as if it's already happened. Use phrases like, I'm so grateful that. And it's amazing how. Do this for 10 minutes every morning after your visualization. Start tracking wins. Keep an evidence journal where you document every piece of evidence that your new programming is working. Unexpected money that came in, opportunities that appeared, deals you negotiated, investments you made, confident financial decisions, times you acted from your wealthy identity. Weekly action. Review your evidence journal and celebrate your progress. Celebration creates emotional imprinting. Take one bigger identity-aligned action. Ask for a raise. Raise your prices. Launch that side business. Make that investment. Take that calculated risk. Milestone. By day 90, your new identity should feel real. You should have tangible evidence of change, not just internal, but external results in your financial reality. Alright. Here's the test I promised you at the beginning. This will reveal which of the 3 blocks is strongest in you right now. I want you to complete this sentence quickly. First thing that comes to mind. No filtering. If I had $1 million right now, I would feel. What was the first emotion that came up? Not what you think you should feel. What did you feel? Fear, anxiety, or overwhelm. Your primary block is fear of success. Your subconscious sees wealth as dangerous or threatening to your current identity. Focus extra attention on pillar 2, pattern interruption, and really examine what you're afraid success would cost you. Disbelief, impossibility, or yeah, right. Your primary block is poverty identity. Your subconscious has filed you under not the kind of person who has money. Focus on identity embodiment. Start being your wealthy self now, not when you have the money. Guilt, unworthiness, or discomfort. Your primary block is scarcity programming from childhood. There's a moral charge around money in your subconscious. Focus on source identification. Trace these beliefs back to their origin and consciously decide to adopt new beliefs. Now you know exactly where to focus your reprogramming efforts. Before we wrap up, let me give you one bonus technique that many wealthy people use, but they don't talk about it publicly because it sounds too out there. It's called identity anchoring. Choose a physical anchor, something you can wear or carry. It could be a specific ring, a bracelet, a stone in your pocket, a particular cologne or perfume, anything that you can associate exclusively with your wealthy identity. Here's how to use it. Every time you do your morning visualization and you're in that peak emotional state, feeling grateful, abundant, powerful, free, touch or engage with your anchor. Create a strong association between that physical sensation and your wealthy emotional state. Do this consistently for 30 days. After 30 days, that anchor becomes a trigger. Anytime you touch it throughout your day, it will automatically shift you into your wealthy identity state. It's like a shortcut to the emotional frequency of abundance. Tony Robbins calls this anchoring. Neuroscientists call it conditioned response. I call it brilliant. If this video resonated with you, hit that like button right now. It helps more people discover this information and start their own transformation. And I want you to do something else. Answer this question in the comments. Which of the 3 blocks did you identify in yourself, and what's one action you're committing to this week? Writing it down and declaring it publicly increases your likelihood of following through by 65% according to behavioral psychology research. Remember, your subconscious is not your enemy. It's not sabotaging you out of malice. It's simply running the programming it was given. But you have the power to update that programming. 2026 can be the year everything changes for you financially. But only if you start the rewiring process today. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Not when things calm down. Today. I'll see you in the next video where I'm going to break down the 5 most powerful affirmations for wealth and the neuroscience behind why they work when traditional affirmations fail. Until then, start your 90-day protocol, rewire your mind, and transform your financial reality. You've got this.